Hello everyone and welcome back to Addo's Playtime. Today we're jumping back into Dyson Sphere, Rise of the Dark Fog. And in the last episode we were able to get our interstellar logistics going, and in this episode it's definitely time for the orbital collectors and to increase our production through the roof. And if you're excited to see massive production chains, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. So, as the dark fog and the sun rise over our new project, the idea is that we're going to fill in all of this continent. And when I mean all of this continent, I mean all of this continent. We're going to go all the way from our current power fix that's here all the way across into where our science area is. Now, this was a temporary factory and we'll probably be pulling it up in the near future, but until then we'll have plenty of space on this side. And then, as we all know, there are kind of spaces you just don't build in. There are kind of three major transition lines here, and they're kind of not fun to build in. So basically the whole kind of top of the planet here is a little bit rough. You can build in this section, but you can't get a lot in there. But here across this piece of the planet is tons, and I mean tons of buildable area. So, and it kind of expands as it gets towards the middle, so you have more space. And then here again, you have another transition line here that makes it a little difficult to get belts across, and then right back up into the top of the planet. Now, the top of the planet obviously has our backup power situation that we had from the last episode, and we won't be building past that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually mark this off how I want my layout to be and where my end of building pattern is, with a whole bunch of power towers. So the power towers is what I'll use to make like a line through here. Now I kind of got this makeshift line over here based upon what I want, but as you can see, this is like kind of our quadrant line. So I'll probably go around and just mark this off real quick, and then I'll start filling in some more of the foundations. And I won't bore you with that because we've filled in lots of foundations, but the plan is, like I said, to fill in this entire continent space right here with nothing but foundations from top to bottom. Terraforming. Oh, it's always so fun. I love terraforming. This didn't take an eon at all. So like I said, we went ahead and kind of marked out where we're going to have the end of this kind of factory area. Now, yes, all of this is in the way, but we will get rid of it as soon as we can. We've been kind of building a whole lot of logistics towers and everything else. So, but the one problem that I'm seeing is honestly, we don't have enough iron or enough copper or magnets to kind of really do what we want to do here, really upscale this project. We want to bring in all the sources, and the only place that I could probably think to leech any items from is good old Edis Pupus 4. So it has 75 million iron ore and 14 million copper ore. So I say we go and take this planet out and we bring resources from here interstellar like across into our current home world. But we do have a bit of a problem because of the fact that we have the dark fog sitting right here. So it's time to liberate a planet. So here we are back on the planet, and we are going to try our best to creep a signal tower towards these guys. Now, there are a bunch of them now. They have gotten up pretty high. There are level 3s, and they'll probably be level 4 by the time we get done with them. So the signal tower releases all of the rockets at once. So we're just gonna gently kind of put some power out here, and then we'll just kind of lead them into our little signal tower here. We'll just kind of crack the edge of it and see what happens. And there we go. We are, oh gosh, they're shooting me now, but they're supposed to go for the signal tower. I need to stay close. I need to stay close because I can repair it. Don't shoot me. Shoot the signal tower. I'm nobody. I'm just a little Icarus guy just standing here. I notice we are collecting a whole lot of resources as well. I mean, our soil pile is going up quickly. It's a good way to get some soil. We are kind of desperately in need of it now that we've completely covered our planet. As you can see, we've gotten most of what is on the edge of this. So I'm gonna creep forward just a bit more. We have some planet to take care of. We need to get this thing liberated as soon as possible. So I'm gonna pull in this signal tower. I think I'm gonna place it right there. So we're just focusing on what this guy can see. Oh my gosh, that is so many dark fog. Oh, and they have gone up to level 4. I don't even know when that happened, but we went ahead and got them to level 4. Oh gosh, they about took that out. Oh my gosh, they about took it out fast. Oh, the laser turrets are actually finally starting to, oh, they're hitting me. They're actually hitting me. Okay, fall back, falling back. Yes, yep. Oh my gosh, my shield's almost dead. Okay, so maybe we weren't ready for that. Let's go ahead and place our signal tower back right there. Maybe just creep forward just a little bit more then. So now we got our rockets firing from the distance. Very good, very good. Wait, what? No power? Oh no. We have power. We just lost our tower. One thing I've learned from reading some comments and some other things and the wiki, you don't want to get rid and destroy these, because this is what aggravates the main dark hive, the spatial dark hive. Our little friends over there get really upset when you take out their big head bases that are at the top of a planet. So we definitely don't want to do that. So what we will do is we will actually, I've seen where people build these geothermal power stations right here on these spots. So we're going to build a couple of those. So we moved the signal tower right up next to it because it kept trying to build here. So as long as this spot is open and that tower thing is there, it's going to keep building. But we're going to solve that right now. Geothermal power. So we'll go ahead and put that right there. And how much power does this actually create? So this is producing how much? 16.3 megawatts? Wow, that is a lot of these. Wow, that's going to be an enormous amount of power. That's going to help out a lot. I'm sure we'll have to probably still build more of our own power, but that's a great start. Man, I don't think we're going to have to worry about power for a minute now. Okay, so next thing on the agenda, well, let's build ourselves out to that other tower. How far does it reach again? We want to just take out a few of those towers. All right, with that built, oh my gosh, they're coming. And we're going to help them out. We're going to fire our rockets and we're going to repair our building. Maybe we'll get this guy up to level 4 before the end of it. Man, there are so many of those little drone things. The flyboys haven't come up yet. Oh, there's one. He's coming. Okay, it looks like we're good. So it's just input the geothermal power and we'll go from there. I want all of these things. I want all of these things. Some of these things, I don't even know what they are. Energy shard. I have 131 of them now. I don't even know what that is. All right, so let's place the geothermal power right there. And so did they just fly away into space? Yes, they do. Are they going back to their dark hive? Oh gosh, where's he going? Oh, I lost him. He's gone. Gone forever. So with that kind of out of the way, and all of this power is hooked up now to the same kind of power stations, I think what we need to do is start harvesting this planet. I'd like to get more titanium and more silicon off of it and use all these iron veins to make iron ingots, magnets, get some copper plates, get all kind of like basic materials off of this planet. And we'll probably as well separate the silicon and the titanium out of this one tower and just have one tower dedicated to each of them. So I think the first thing we need to do is get rid of these power plants. And yes, that does seem a bit counterintuitive to what we're doing as we're going to be needing more power. But there's a plan, there's a method to the madness. I'm gonna move these power poles so that we can have a little bit more space on this side, but we'll keep them powered up as we're need to. At the same time, we're going to go ahead and cut all these off because I want to use up the storage we have, because moving storage around is kind of difficult. So the second thing I want to do is put another logistics tower here, and we'll clear the settings for the other thing and we'll get it all hooked up for the titanium. So we'll probably just exit the titanium out of here to try to put it in there. There we go. So now with 2 logistics towers kind of doing their thing, 1 titanium and 1 silica, the next thing I want to do is start harvesting each one of these. So what I've done is I've made like a little blueprint here. So it's a logistics tower plus a kind of 1 smelter. And what we'll do is we'll just put one of these down like so on all the nodes that I want to harvest. So we'll do the 2 iron nodes here, and then there's also more iron node over here. There's a copper node over here that I really want because there's actually not too many copper nodes here. Another copper node there. We'll put I think iron there, you know, and we'll just go around and we'll pick out a few of these, and then we can set them to whatever recipe that we want. And then, yeah, so that'll kind of be the beginning of it. So iron ingots and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, we need some materials. Now, in these blueprints, I went ahead and just future-proofed myself by making some proliferators. So I don't really know how these work and if they're any good, but we're going to try and go ahead and, like I said, future-proof it. We'll harvest all the materials, and we'll have 7 harvesters. And they'll have different numbers of resources that they can produce. All 7 of those will just get fed into the tower, and then we'll have the tower say to hold this stuff and be storage, because it can store a lot, and I mean a lot. And then we'll have it also have the iron ingots, and we'll have that as a supply. And then we'll have some main logistic towers stationed somewhere, and we'll have those just shipping that out to the main planet. And then we have all of the iron ingots and all of the copper ingots that we could ever want. All right, so everything is completed, everything is built, and we are ready to get this thing rocking. Now, our power production, oh boy, it's gonna consume right now with what we've got hooked up, and I think I have most everything hooked up. We may have to add a few power plants to this, but 63 megawatts, yikes, that's gonna be a lot. So let's go ahead and hook this sucker up and see what it is that we've got going on for power. So if you don't know, it's pretty easy to change the filters once you get your towers built up. So you can have all these lines here, and then there's a nice little filter tab when you get close enough to say filter out the copper, and then it'll send it down that line. And that's really all you got to do. Easy peasy. So then it's going to load itself back into the tower, and then this is just going to be a massive supply dock. So if the production rates really kind of aren't very important to me right now. It's okay. I don't care. You know, there's just something about being able to walk up to a giant production line and just copy paste a whole bunch of recipes. It's therapeutic in a way. Okay, so it looks like that everything seems to be kicking off okay. I've got everything rolling now. All of the miners are running, all of the smelters are running, and the power consumption's not too bad. Not too bad at all. We need to think about magnets. We didn't do magnets. Ah, dang it. I forgot magnets. All right, so we gathered up a little bit more, and this will be strictly magnets. We'll have probably 2 to 3 nodes being harvested for magnets. So now we want to bring everything to one central location. And honestly, I'm just thinking about the top of this planet, or bottom. I don't know if we're at the North or the South Pole. I think we're at the North Pole. So my plan would be is to just kind of build, I want to kind of design something a little bit, almost like a spaceport kind of look to it. So here is our massive interstellar logistics port. Ah, yes, it looks kind of cool. I like it. It's neat. There wasn't any mistakes with its foundations at all. So what we'll have it do is we'll have a local demand of like magnets, copper ingots, iron ingots, and we'll do a remote supply so we can ship it off to our planet. And then, you know, each one of these will have its own dedicated thing to it. Now, I probably will bring up the titanium and the silica here too, because I believe that I have the space to put one right in the center, which would be really cool, but I don't know. That seems a little too much. Maybe I can make this my target for landing. With that done, I believe it's time to go back to the home world and see if we can make what we want to make. All right, back on the home world, we did much of the similar and just kind of made an area here that's nice and flat, and we didn't fill in everything, but it'll be okay. We're just going to bring in all the logistics onto the top of the planet. It's just kind of an area that can't really be built in very well, so I don't really care. I don't know what else to really use it for. Can't really set up any factories here. So we're going to put one right in the center here, and then as close as we can down the lines on each side. So that way it just kind of seems a little bit on the more organized side of things. I'm thinking here. So we'll just keep it on this line, which means we should be able to put one there and then an additional one across all the way around. Okay, so here we are. So we have this one bringing in the iron ingots. We'll have this one bringing in the high purity silica. This one over here is going to be bringing in the titanium. This one will be the copper ingots, and this one will be the magnets. And then I have two more set up here with nothing, because I don't know what we'll be bringing up. All we have to do now is send off the fleet. So we're going to change that to remote demand, and we're going to watch those ships take off. So there goes the fleet. Let's see about an interplanet. Ooh boy, yeah, they're taking off in a hurry. So that'll get us all of the materials that we need, and that'll be fantastic. Fantastic. Man, that is a lot of ships. Wow. Okay. That definitely is going to be something that's going to be noticed, I'm sure. So as we wait for our logistics towers to fill up, we're going to go ahead and kind of lay out and get an idea of what we're about to do. So to get the orbital collectors, we need our interstellar logistics systems, super magnetic rings, reinforced thrusters, and an accumulator full. Now the accumulator full, that's the one thing that I'm not really sure of what or how to do this. I know we can build them and we can handcraft them, and I did handcraft a few. I handcrafted a couple, and I put them down here just to kind of see what it is, and this is what it does. It holds power, so it's just like a giant battery, but I'm not really sure exactly how this works or how you charge this before you put it down. I don't know. I've been playing around and reading some things, but I'm sure the wiki or the Reddits will tell me what to do. So with that being said, it's time to just get started on our project. So we're gonna just start up in this top corner, and we'll use one of our blueprints to do the smelting. So the smelting equals the crystals that we need. So we'll probably try to just put it there. Yeah. And then from these crystals, we'll come down and go into a manufacturing blueprint that I have. I think it's just 2 item. And so we'll try to line these up the best that we can with each other, and the fact of the proliferators in case we ever decide to use it. So we'll use that there. And then from there, we'll just kind of keep coming down this line and making all of the different kinds of manufacturing that we need. So the last thing we need to figure out is how do we get these empty accumulators charged? Now I was looking over all of the things that we can build, and under the transportation tab, it seems to have these energy exchangers. It says something about power stored in it can fully charge an accumulator. So I'm assuming this is what we need. So we need to handcraft a few of these so that we can get these guys charged up. Okay, so everything is set up, and now it's time to release the materials. And we'll use our little filter trick here and go in and select the things that we want to come out, and everything just starts off wonderfully. All right, so that's kind of what I got to do, is just I'm gonna do little bits and pieces, and then I'm gonna check to see, you know, on our power grid how much we're doing, because remember this 147, yeah, that's not our actual power. Right when we start pulling some materials away from petroleum, that's when we'll find out that we're not making enough power. So let me go through and get some of these things kind of rocking and rolling and see where there's some problems. I think there's a belt missing there. And I'll kind of troubleshoot this and I'll get it kind of rocking and rolling. We'll just see where we're going from there. Okay, so everything seems to be running okay. Everything seems to be working. There's no hiccups just yet. I'm sure we'll have to do some troubleshooting and adding of certain supplies. And our power grid is holding pretty steady, but it's still not great. I know that this is not my real true sense of power, so I'm gonna probably go look at these generators here in the very near future. Now I did disconnect this line because we'll more than likely will bring that around and into whatever it is to charge these suckers up. So we'll probably have finished products going in here, not this empty accumulators. All right, so we rebuilt the accumulators to come down and be down to here, and then we're gonna put these into the energy exchangers right here. Now I don't know which of these is ins and outs. It kind of feels like the right and left is ins and the top and the bottom is outs. If that's the case, then what we'll do is we'll just give it maybe a little bit of space so that we can run some belting through it. There we go. Now we got it nice and set up, and we'll see if anything happens. Now, what do these things need? So they have a discharge and idle, which they're currently in, and charge. So guess we do the charge on it. Oh, wow. Look at that thing. Looks like a flower just bloomed. So we will go ahead and bring this down to here and then pop that into there. And then let's see if it works. If they start charging, then we'll know it's working. And there we go. Okay, so the big question is when it's done. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, that happened like really fast. Oh man. So it is coming down this way and they are going through. It's fantastic. So now we just got to get it back into that logistics tower. I think just a small belt that runs around and up and in here, a little bit of spaghetti will be just fine for what we're doing. So now with those going into the towers, all we have to do is put all the parts together for the orbital collectors. And we'll request all 3 items that we're making over there to come down here. And then on top of that, the last item that you need is the interstellar logistics stations. And so all of the items are here, and we just kind of belted this around and popped it in here. We should be making enough of these to get the small amount that we need. And then it's going to spit them out the back and put them in here. I don't want very many. I don't think we'll need very many. I'm hoping that we can get away with, I don't know, 3 dozen or so. But anyways, so let's go ahead and set these filters and get these orbital collectors collecting. And there it is, our very first orbital collector. Oh boy, that took a while. My goodness, it took a while. Whew, nice. All right, so with that done, we're just gonna put these in this box and store them for later. So I was checking up on a lot of our systems here, and I'm noticing that we don't have any silicon anymore. And I'm not really sure why. We have it being transported, but I'm not really sure why. There is none coming to me, and I could have swore I had seen it earlier when we were checking it. Now we do have a bit left over in this tower over here. Where's that tower at? Oh, this one? But even it's out of titanium, and we really need titanium, because if we don't get the titanium, we can't make titanium alloy, and that is getting lower and lower. At the same time, we're running out of sulfur, but I know we have a whole bunch of that being made. We just don't have it all going into the tower. So that's a quick and easy fix. Now, I think we need to run back to the other planet and see what's going on. So let me gather up some supplies and I'll meet you there. Okay, so upon our arrival, we're gonna head to the top of the planet and see what's going on at the top. Seems like we have towers that are popping out our interstellar logistics systems, but what's going on up at the top? So I don't think I switched anything over to be the titanium and silicon up here. No. So this is all just the regular stuff, and it seems to be working fine. I think our power levels are all right. Oh yeah, we got plenty of megawatts. So maybe we need to go check in on the titanium and silica. Well, I did this. This is my fault. I forgot to hook them up to the towers. Yeah. And I could have swore I set this to be out. I guess I didn't. So now we'll just go ahead and take all that out of there. And we'll redirect that stuff over there. I thought, yeah, that's better. That'll work better. Now we're still draining out this tower, but yeah, it's gonna happen in no time. So honestly, we can just delete these lines. And we can just let our silica and titanium production keep going. Yeah, okay, well, I'm glad it was something easy and it wasn't like the dark fog came and completely wiped us out here. That would have been terrible. So, anywho, we'll probably set up a few more, like harvest more silica and have it have a local demand into these things, and maybe some more titanium as well. I'll just kind of do that like I did the other stuff. Set up a tower and use our blueprint to do it. Easy peasy. So I can just go and set these up in the background and have them ready when we need them. So now that we're back on the home planet, I went ahead and collected all of the orbital collectors that we have so far. So that is what we're going to go and shoot for our gas giant and see how many of these we actually are going to need. All right, so we have quite a bit of the orbital collectors now. We have 56 of them in total. Hopefully that's enough to get like all over the planet. I'll probably just put all of them on there and then call it good. So let's blast off and see if we can't find that gas giant real quick. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss. All right, so here we are on the planet, and I'm not landing, which is a little concerning. I imagine that I probably could not land on this. So, okay, that is what it is. We are burning through energy though, so we're gonna have to be really careful with this. All right, is there like a node that I need to find? How do you, hello? Is there anything that indicates where these things go? The orbital collector can only be built at the equator. Oh, well, where's the equator? I don't know where that is. Oh, there it is. This is the equator. Okay. So we'll probably just try to put these on every square. Okay, maybe not on every square. Orbital collector, you have built the first... Okay, whoa. Okay, we got lots of things going on. So the first one is you have built the first orbital collector on Edis Pupus 2. Each gas giant has substantial resources. Resources of the entire universe will be at your disposal, okay? Deuterium. You've produced deuterium, a stable isotope of hydrogen under the influence of a powerful magnetic field. Deuterium can be made into standardized deuterium fuel rods for power generation. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we want. We want some mega power production. And I imagine that deuterium, as hard as it is to get this stuff, it'll probably be really good stuff. Okay, so this is kind of taking forever. I hope this deuterium is good. I'm not waiting on my drones to get back to me. I'm just gonna place all of these and get all the way around the planet, and then I'll go back through and fly across because I'm already running out of power. And I don't even think I've made it around the planet one time. I can't just sit here and hover and get power. So I'm gonna have to try my best to probably, like right now, head back to my main planet because I gotta use a lot of power to get off of this planet. So I'm just gonna shoot back home, recharge, and then come back at this in a minute. Oh man, okay, so this is gonna be the end of it right here. These are the last two that I've got to build. Man, going around this globe like 4 times, it was ridiculous. But we have all kinds of deuterium, and I guess it comes with hydrogen, which is going to be kind of nice. We could set up a really cool hydrogen burning facility and get off of that oil that I know is limited, even though it's getting us through the right now. So I guess it's time to go back home and see if we can't figure out how to get this deuterium here, because you can't put any interstellar logistics vehicles on there. So I'm kind of wondering how exactly I go and collect this stuff. Now, I did purposefully leave 2 of these towers empty so that we could use them for whatever we want in the future. And the future is now. So I guess you just go on here, select deuterium and remote demand. Hello, sir? Why isn't it working? It's got all the power it needs. Minimum drones vessels? Maybe if we, oh, there it goes. It's going. All right, it's just because there's just not a lot of deuterium there, I'm sure. We'll set this for, it was at 100. Let's just go with 60. 60 seems good. And let's see those drones. What are they doing? Oh, they're just going right over there, aren't they? And they're just popping into each one of those. And honestly, with as many towers as we have and 10 of those drones going at a time, I mean, we started out with 56 and then ended up with 16 at the end. So we used 40 towers. They have 4 trips in them, but it's not a very long trip. So we'll figure it out. It should be fine. Look at all of that interstellar logistics. Wow, we have so many of those coming back and forth from that planet. It's like a bunch of ants going to and from. Oh man. But okay, so what would be next then? So we would turn that deuterium into some kind of fuel rod. I think in the science here, it shows us that under the mini fusion power generation, we can get deuterium fuel rods. So it takes 20 deuterium for every one of these. And then we could burn those in the mini fusion power plant, I'm assuming, but we're gonna need those tubes that look like a net. So this high strength material we'll need as well. And those things take titanium and more graphene. Okay, so that is kind of the next steps here. And then hopefully with these mini fusion power plants, we could put up enough of these that we could create tons of power. I think if I'm reading this right, it says 15 megawatts per one. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, we could probably definitely get some power needs satisfied in a hurry until we get our Dyson Sphere. So if you want to see me tackle deuterium, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it does help the channel out. Hit the notification bell so you can be alerted of any Dyson Sphere or any other content that gets uploaded to the page. Hit one of the buttons at the end of the screen so you can see what else we've been playing, and don't forget to keep gaming for the love of games. Bye now.